Let's now bring you a CNN News 18 exclusive. An anti-immigration wave hit London as over 3 million protesters gathered downtown under the banner Unite the Kingdom last week. Led by activist and journalist Tommy Robinson, the rally echoed fears of a great replacement and uncontrolled migration. The Keir Starmer government has sought to downplay the scale of this protest, but the question remains, will legal immigrants feel the pinch of this? This, as Tommy Robinson maintains, that his movement has nothing to do with the Hindus, the Sikhs and the legal migrants in the United Kingdom. It's in fact challenging the kind of migration that has been witnessed in the last few years, especially from Islamic nations. Listen in to this exclusive conversation. You referred to your Unite the Kingdom rally as a show of patriotic unity, something like nothing seen before, and a cultural revolution. Going by the numbers, is this the beginning of a cultural revolution in Great Britain?
You're witnessing right now a cultural revolution. We have seen a globalist revolution for the last 20 to 30 years across all nations. Open border mass immigration, attack on our religious identity. That's what we've witnessed the globalists doing for 20 to 30 years. You are now seeing the counter revolution. And this was the spark of it. We hope this inspires all Western nations that now is the time to stand up and defend our future, defend our country, defend our culture, and defend our daughters. Because unfortunately, our women are no longer safe in the UK. And it's not at the hands. The important thing that we wanted to do as Unite the Kingdom movement was to show that many communities have come to this country. Many have come from India, Sikhs, Hindus. Many have come from other nations, and they've integrated and assimilated. But that's far different to what we're seeing with Islamic immigration. So whilst we wish to unify Britain and everyone that's proud to be British, we have a problem. It needs to be spoken about. It needs to be stopped. The aggression and the hostility from the Islamic community, it's a massive issue to Great Britain. And we see our core identity and the safety of our nation in danger.
How do you respond to all of those who say that it is the far-right movement which is dividing Britain right now?
Britain is divided. It's already divided. And it's not divided through racial lines. It's not divided between the Sikhs, the Hindus, the Jews. It's not divided by any of them. It's divided by Islam and the rest of the UK. That's it. We have Islamic ghettos that have not integrated, not assimilated. Out of those Islamic ghettos, we have 40,000 Muslims on a terror watch list. 40,000. We only have 70,000 armed forces. During 50 years of Islamic immigration into the UK, in 50 years, we had 3 years where ISIS were dominant in Syria. In that 3 years of ISIS reign in Syria, 4 times as many British Muslims joined ISIS than have ever joined the British military. So in a 3-year period, 4 times more joined ISIS than in a 50-year period of joining the British military. We have a massive problem. And simply 1.2 million British Muslims want Sharia law in our country. That is 1.2 million Muslims that need to leave. But there's no playing games anymore. We've had enough. We've tolerated it for too long. We have tolerated hate against us. 1.2 million Muslims who wish to overthrow democracy and replace it with Islamic supremacy. The problem is, as there's rising tensions against migration, because of the problems we're seeing, which is what we've seek to do as a movement, is let people know that many migrants come to this country, embrace it and love it. There's one section that's come here and caused murders and declared war with it. And I'll be honest, you see, if we didn't have Islamic immigration, there would not even be a debate on immigration in the UK. No one would be complaining. There would have been no mass rape gangs in Rotherham, Telford and 85 other cities with Islamic communities. We wouldn't even be having a discussion on immigration because no one would have any problems with the other communities that have come here.
Since you want to, have Unite the UK turn into a broader Western movement, I think it's important to also highlight what the critics of Charlie Kirk's assassination have been talking about. They're saying it is this hate-filled rhetoric, it is this divisive rhetoric which has led to the rise in political violence, not just the assassination of Charlie Kirk, but they've also spoken about the multiple assassination attempts against the US President Donald Trump while he was campaigning. Your thoughts?
It's all been encouraged. It's been encouraged and supported by the mass media. They've encouraged it. Political parties have encouraged it. Government-funded NGOs have encouraged it. There are entire organisations whose job it is to lie about me. in the UK, a group called Hope Not Hate. I've done an expose documentary on them. They receive funding from the government, from George Soros. They have continually targeted me, put a target on me, not just me, but my family. And their job is to attack people who speak out so that they're too scared to speak out. We've seen this across the West. There are massive, Media Matters is the same in the United States of America. Their job is to do exactly the same. Entire offices full of people paid full time to demonise, attack, slander and lie about people who speak out. That, as I said, in a free democracy, these are government orchestrated and organised groups, and their job is to attack us. And what we saw with Charlie Kirk, it has to be a turning point, especially for those on the right need to realise, and conservatives need to realise, that the law has not been implemented equally. People can openly call for our murder. They don't even get arrested. Same with Donald Trump. We've seen the hatred that they've faced. Nothing's done about it. You reverse the roles. If someone mentions something about transgenderism, 20 police officers kick their door off in the UK. The hypocrisy of the way the law is implemented between left and right. We are thrown to the wolves and everyone else is protected. So they encourage attacks against people like Charlie and against myself.
How do you respond to all of those sympathizers who say that it's a duty of the developed nations to look after those who are displaced, to look after these immigrants, many of them who have been displaced because of wars which are primarily waged by the white countries or, are victims of white men's wars?
Developed nations like Saudi Arabia and Qatar. How many are they taking in? This is migration jihad. That's what this is. Yeah, those Muslims can go to safe Muslim countries if they want, where their culture fits, rather than coming to our countries and causing mayhem, war, and destruction. That's it. I'm all for helping people who need help, but we're not, by destroying our own cultures and our own countries. That's not going to work. It's not going to work, and we're not willing to play the lottery. Never ever in the history of this earth, in 1,400 years, has Islam peacefully coexisted with other faiths. It starts off as a minority. When it gets to a certain percentage, we see jihad, we see war. Britain will be no different. Europe will be no different. India will be no different. You see what's going on in Kashmir. We all know it. It's going to be no different. The time to stop being weak is now. The time to unite with leaders across the West, across the world, who understand this problem is now. The time is now. The battleground for this has been chosen as our capital city by the British public on Saturday. But that's the largest demonstration this country's ever seen.
Do you think this is just a one-sided problem? There was a racially motivated rape of a British-born Sikh woman in the West Midlands just last week, where perpetrators allegedly told her, "You don't belong to this country, get out." What about the right to feel safe, respected and valued by those who are legal immigrants? Should this form of racism and misogyny have place in Britain?
So, I spoke to that family of that girl, offered them our support, made a video letting everybody know the disgusting news of that case. And that is something new. I've never heard anything like that. There is a growing whether it be Indian sentiment that we're witnessing, which I want to play my part in educating the public on the great contributions that Hindus and Sikhs have given to this country, and to be unfairly tarnished as any problematic group. We are doing everything we can to do that, which is why I reached out to that family through Sikh organisations we have relationships with. Okay, but I've never seen anything like that. That shows, as the public become more angry with mass immigration due to the importation of Islamic community. This is something I've worked with the Sikh organisations for 15 years. When there's been problems with racism coming from white organisations or white people, we've worked with them. Even when we had the English Defence League, we reached out, we went down and tried to quell situations where Sikh community were facing racism. And we will do everything we can to unite Britain and educate the British public.
So are you saying that the innocent non-white immigrants, the legal immigrants, are falling prey to this anger? Because there are many in Britain who refer to themselves as multiracial patriots, pay taxes, and are actively contributing to the British economy. Many Indians who I personally know are more British than Indian. So is Tommy Robinson against all non-white immigrants?
No, not all. No, as I said, we embraced that anyone that's come to this country, loved it, embraced it, we are with you. And not just we are with you, we will defend you. We will work with you. When the Hindus faced the backlash from the Islamic problem in Leicester, when the media was blaming the Hindus, at that point, we reached out to lead Hindu organisations and said, if you need 1,000 or 2,000 men, we are offering men to help defend your community. Because we understand the sacrifice, we understand the good work the Hindu community have done in the UK. We understand they're not raping our daughters. We understand that they're hardworking, they're family orientated, they're decent British people. We understand that. Unfortunately, I am accepting that as anti-migrant sentiment grows, unfortunately, some innocent people are being caught in the middle. That's what I understand. Now, we will do everything we can as an organisation, as a country, and as a community to unify all of those groups.
US President Donald Trump is on his second visit to Britain, where many are referring to him as a racist or a traitor and a betrayer, at a time when Trump's own philosophy, what's popularly known as Trumpism, is growing in Britain with its own calls to make England great again. What explains this deep-seated hatred for Trump?
The hatred is from the establishment and their figures. No one else. Not on the streets. The people love Donald Trump. Britain loves Donald Trump. Do you know the only people fighting for our free speech right now? Donald Trump, JD Vance and Elon Musk. None of the British establishment, none of our politicians are fighting for our free speech. They are. They're fighting against the European Union. They're fighting for all of our freedoms. There is a ripple that has come from America for free speech. The reason I have my X account back, Elon Musk. The reason I now have my YouTube account back, because of the election of Donald Trump. When America elected Donald Trump, they didn't just elect to save America, it was to save the West. Donald Trump is leading that fight. Free speech is under threat. It's already gone, to be honest. It's a facade that we have free speech. So we, as patriots, we as British people are so grateful to the United States of America. We're so grateful to Donald Trump. I have more respect for him, for JD Vance and for Elon Musk than anyone else on this planet. We're grateful. He's loved. Don't believe the media. The media tell you I'm hated. I'm hated.
Interestingly, the government of India is also cracking down on illegal immigration, particularly that coming from Bangladesh. Would you like to share your thoughts on Prime Minister Modi, and do you see any parallels between India and Britain?
Happy birthday, first of all, to Prime Minister Modi. Populism didn't start with Donald Trump, started with Modi. His election was the start. So I followed the situation closely. I've had lots of meetings in the UK with lots of Indian organisations and groups. I admire Modi for putting Indians first, putting Indian people first. And he was the start of it, even for putting Hindus first, because your country is under attack. And when we talk about his job of stopping uncontrolled mass immigration, again, from Islamic nations who are raping their way through your country. Do you remember Tapan Ghosh? I had meetings with Tapan Ghosh years ago, rest in peace to him. But I had meetings with him back in the day to understand how he was trying to resist the rape of Hindu women. So I follow what's going on. We know what's going on in Kashmir. Everyone does around the world. Whenever you see any violence and conflicts, we know it's not the Hindus. We know automatically straight away. We know who it is. We know about the supremacy and the violence and the hostility. So I wish him success. I wish him success. I wish him honour and bravery, which has continued to show. I'm a supporter of President Modi.
Would you like to meet him at some point?
I'd love to meet him. I'd love to meet him.
I just want to end with your thoughts on terrorism. Do you think that the West is playing its role when it comes to addressing the problem of terrorism, whether it is Israel or India, which has been attacked as recently as April, when the dastardly terror attack happened in Kashmir's Pahalgam? How do you respond to the West's approach, particularly that of United States? We've seen the US president also go ahead and strike deals with Pakistan. So what is your assessment of the West's approach when it comes to dealing with terrorism, in your language, particularly Islamic terrorism?
Well, if they were dealing with Islamic terrorism, we would have already closed down lots of mosques, which we haven't. We never have, so we've been weak in dealing with it. If we were dealing with Islamic terrorism, the 40,000 Muslims on a terror watch list, 50% of them have got dual nationality, they would be deported from our country. They haven't been. If we were dealing with Islamic terrorism, we would have just banned all entry from Pakistan into our country. Pakistan is a terrorist state. Nothing good has ever come from Pakistan. Most of the world's problems are coming from Pakistan. Pakistan has funded terrorism continuously. It tries to smile whilst trying to destroy your country. That's what it does to India. It's what it does to us. It's what it does all over the world. So Pakistan is a terrorist state. No, we've been weak on all these issues, on all of them. We need a government. I actually think we need to free Baluchistan, free the Baluch people from Pakistan's terror.